Hey there, everybody. My name is Angelo. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I had the day off today and I just got to relax, hang out, enjoy the day. Um, Tomorrow, I should also have the day off because it is a one-man job and I am not that one man. So I will probably be staying home. However, I want to talk to you guys about a bunch of different type of stuff. And so with that being said, I like to talk about, work, health, fitness, my epilepsy, all that fun stuff. And I think that it's interesting to try different topics and see what works, what doesn't work, and what you guys really gel with and are interested in. Because to me, helping all of you out and then also keeping you interested at the same time is really the number one goal here. I think as long as I'm helping people and they're able to enjoy it at the same time, it's a big deal. So feel free to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It's all free, really helps me out, and I really appreciate it. With that being said, it is getting late by me, and I just wanted to keep you guys updated with everything that is going on. And as I said, I'm probably not going to be working tomorrow, and I did say that already. I do electrical work and I work with my dad, believe it or not, and he got me into it very early. I started my first electrical job at about, and when I say job, this is like individual site job, not like, okay, you're officially full time. The first time I worked on anything electrical, I was probably that wasn't in our house was probably like 13, 14 years old, probably 13. I think I turned 14 that summer. And, there's things that I've worked on at people's houses that are still there from when I first started out. It's pretty crazy. Seeing all the projects that I know I've done, I've built, I've dug the holes, put the fixtures in, filled it with cement, put the ballads up, all of this interesting things that these people don't really think about. I know that I did something to help them, and I think that that's very interesting with that field. It's also very interesting when you're doing it with family, because if anybody knows that working with family can be tough, and sometimes it's tough because it's hard to keep the work and the home away from each other, and sometimes they kind of become one thing. And so you sometimes have to say the difficult things. And for a long time, I would say that me and my dad had a hard time gelling and getting along with each other during work. We would have our good days where we would just fly right through. We have our bad days where we butt heads a little bit and we have different ideas of how things should be done. But, really just being transparent and truthful about it has gotten us way more ahead than anything else we could have done. And so I would say if you're working with somebody, family or not, say the hard thing, say the obvious thing. If you're both having a hard time, talk about it because at the end of the day, if you just ignore it, it's not going to get better. Um, so what if they're already having a hard time working with somebody? Well, you can still have a hard time working with them, and but you may not if you address it in the right manner. Um, and in this way, we've become closer. And with all of the obstacles that I've had with my health, because I do have also epilepsy, and I did have brain surgery in February, and I also had brain surgery last year, twice in September. I had an implant and explant. So the implant was implanting basically readers for the right hemisphere of my brain, and then they explanted them about 2 weeks later. It was a complicated process, but nonetheless, I am here, I am healthy, and I am continuing to push on and talk to all of you. And, I'm going to keep showing up for all of you because I think that it's really important that we recognize that you don't have to let some of these problems stop you. You know, these aren't determiners of like your whole life. You're the determiner of your life. And so when I talk about the electrical stuff and things that I want to do in the future, I have some obstacles, of course, but that doesn't make it the final decider of like, hey, this is your ceiling. No, my ceiling is all the way off the charts, and I know it is because I said so. And so I want you to think about the same thing. But yeah, I'm just continuing to learn, continuing to work, continuing to get better every single day. I had a really hard period, kind of adapting to all of this, I think, as well, because how everybody expected a lot more from me now that I was healthier and I wasn't having these seizures, and it was a hard adjustment period, a lot of pressure to perform, and being like, and even at work, like, this is something that I've dealt with before, being your boss's son, basically. uh, Customers expect you to perform really well, and so they follow you around. You're the young person, and I've had people hovering on my shoulder. Sorry for the mic hit there, but hovering on my shoulder, watching me as I'm doing my job. And you just gotta get used to that type of stuff. You gotta get used to the uncomfortable things, pretend they're not even there, and eventually you forget about it. Because initially, this type of stuff, talking into a camera, was difficult, and now it's not. It's pretty easy for me. I mean, it may not be super popular, but I have a small, tight-knit community that appreciates the stuff that I create, which, that's the goal. That's the goal for me. I think that helping somebody, even if it's just one person, is better than helping nobody and watching instead of creating. I've definitely been able to view life through a different lens, and I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that I've had, and I'm very excited to see the opportunities that I'm going to have in my future. I think this is a huge time in my life to continue to improve, continue to work hard, and continue to advertise myself to others, because maybe I catch that break, I get that really nice paying job. Who knows? You don't know if you don't try. And so I'm going to keep trying, going to keep pushing. Job market's rough, but if you are experiencing anything of similar to that, don't quit. I gave up for a little bit. I took quite a break, and I got to hop back on it because I'm killing my momentum with this. But I'm pushing with this because I know that you guys appreciate it. I'm doing it every single day. So that being said, if you have a goal, I want you to forget about all the chatter out over here and just look straight ahead and just chase that dream. Um, Sorry if my hands are a little bit dirty. I helped change a spare tire earlier on the work truck. You know, Me and my dad, once again, working together, this time, of course, in a good way. But, um, if you have that dream, once again, do not let other people tell you otherwise. You are the determiner of your fate, nobody else. Forget about what they say, forget about what they think. That doesn't matter. It's all about what you think and how you perform. So keep pushing yourself to do better every single day. And with that being said, I am going to push myself because I still have stuff that I have to overcome. So I'm not quitting on myself. I'm not quitting on you. Hopefully, you don't quit on yourself and you don't quit on me, and we can hold each other accountable. With that being said, I believe in you and your ability to do something great. So I really look forward to talking to you all very soon. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope you all stay happy, healthy, and safe. Have a good one.